Hey, what's up, everyone? My name's Lionel. I'm your host for L2 Productions, and you are watching another edition of Soundbite. Today, I wanted to discuss two topics, and it deals with a show called Married to Medicine, currently airing on Bravo. Two subjects that deal with one doctor, but other co-stars within there. Toya and Dr. Simone, Dr. Jackie and Dr. Simone. And I'm just gonna talk about the things that I see. Some people advocate for Dr. Simone. I don't. And I'm gonna tell you why. Now, I do appreciate everyone for coming to my channel. Like, comment, subscribe. Now let's get into these sound bites. Alright, so soundbite, if you don't know, is kind of a derivative of me wanting to have a more personal touch to different stories that may be going on, or hot topics that may be going on, that I want to just put a little extra sauce to, or put a little bit more, give a little bit more input into it, have a more intimate talk about it. And I pulled both of these stories that I want to talk about due to recent conversation that was had on Mr. Carlos King's channel on YouTube on Monday Night Live. Toya, who is on Married to Medicine, and Dr. Simone recently went viral because of a picture that they took with another cast member's ex-boyfriend. His name is Kirk King. So Quad brought this man around, Kirk King. They were together for 3 years, and they recently broke up late in 2025. Kirk, he has developed friendships with some of the guys, and he still hangs around them. Cool. The picture that I'm talking about is Toya and Simone and Kirk. They are at a basketball game, and they take this picture. I just have this question. If you have broken up with someone, do you think that your friend should break up with them too? This season, I heard in the confessional, and I also heard on Reality with the King, when Carlos had Toya and her husband Eugene on. She said, "That's my friend." Talking about Quad. And Heavenly and she said it in this way. I'm not saying it word for word, but I'm paraphrasing. But basically, Heavenly's going to have to move aside, because that's my friend too. And I was looking at that, I'm like, what is going on there? Now, we're not going to talk about that, but put a pin there. I'm going to put that on the table. I may have another soundbite, maybe next season, depending on what happens. Because what's going on there? Because it sounds like you're being competitive, but then you pull this stuff. Nah. So Mr. Carlos King and his panelists, Blue, Dustin Ross, and Claudia Jordan, they did discuss it. Overall, the agreement is that they're not her friends. They are jealous. There's no way that you should be posted up with an ex. Now, what Toya said on Carlos King's interview a couple months back, her husband, Dr. Eugene, and Kirk are still friends. Cool. I'm sure y'all hang out, all that good stuff. Cool. That's supposed to be his friend, right? Toya, right? So you purposely posted a picture that you knew that would go viral. Toya, you're supposed to be rebuilding this friendship with Quad. That never was a friendship. Anyways, Simone, you're supposed to be rebuilding a friendship with Quad, correct? Quad even mentioned, we saw in the trailer, and it was mentioned on the reunion part 1. So you guys are speaking with my ex? It's the same pattern, because we're going to get into a little bit of the history of how some of these women are on this show. Y'all say that Heavenly is the devil. Well, he got some cousins out there that are on the same show. Like her or not, we know what Heavenly brings. And there's some other folk that get to hide in the back and be devils too. If we're going to call Heavenly a devil, we're going to call you a devil too. Same instance. Now, Quad, who's been on the show since the beginning of time for Married to Medicine, she was married to Dr. G. They got a divorce by season 6. He was a part of the doctor friend group, and the men still remain friends with him. Quad's career shot off, and she's been able to migrate into different friend circles and social circles. And she was the breakout star from Married to Medicine. Quad and Simone were tight. Dr. Simone. Things took a turn. Not first. We're going to just say what I need to say. Not first because of her migrating off into different social friend groups. It's getting a divorce from Dr. G, which his name is Greg, with 2 G's. A lot of the women are really under the patriarchy. They are under the old school way of you stay with your man, stand by your man. That's what they do. Despite wanting to get divorces, you could put them under the guise of like being a desperate housewife. We've seen these challenges in Quad's relationship with a lot of the ladies' relationships. 3 in particular of relationships or marriages that were under fire of getting a divorce. The only ones that actually got the divorce are Quad and Dr. G. Dr. Simone and her husband Cecil were going on the verge of getting a divorce. The ladies basically talked her into staying with him. Dr. Jackie and her husband Curtis. Curtis cheated on her and it went public. She was on the verge of divorce. The ladies talked her out of divorcing him. Okay, so you get it all. So the only person within this circle that decided to break this dysfunctional mold of, look, I'm gonna choose me, is Quad. We've seen it. Hopefully you do admit it. Quad was punished for doing that. How dare you? Who do you think you are? Who do you think you are? Yeah. To have the audacity to walk up out of a marriage. There was pressures from the group that you need to give that man a baby. And Quad said no, absolutely not. Because she knew the type of man that she was dealing with. She knew early on, I'm not procreating with this man. No. And she didn't. She always really, flew by the beat of her drum. She was always, she just wasn't going to play the games of what patriarchy was supposed to be. So I just wanted to just paint a picture. So another timeline, when Quad got success out of this show, she got her own talk show, and when she was going through her divorce, a lot of the ladies were not supportive, and they thought that she would just follow the same tradition of stay with your man. She didn't. She ended up at least connecting with more women who did support her. The other ladies felt slighted. Some of the other ladies did, because of her migrating to people that actually gave a F about her, instead of the appearance of this whole doctor's wife and you're just supposed to stay there, da-da-da-da-da. So with that, Dr. Simone and Quad, over. So it's 2 things that are going on here. You broke the code of divorcing one of our doctors and men, and along with that, you're supposed to stay with your man too, like we did. You didn't do that, and you didn't give him a baby. How dare you? 2, you are now giving honor to another group of women when we've been here this whole time, yet not really liking how you're flowing and you're not moving like we do. We actually accepted you into the group after we already looked at you crazy, because you were the uncouth person and you needed some developing. Go back to season 1. So, of Married to Medicine. Okay, hopefully I painted the picture and all that. We've watched for years. Now Toya and Quad, they've been oil and water. And actually they've been in the same boat with this group. Doctors have this air about themselves that can be quite distasteful for I'm not putting this down like that, for everyday people. Let's just say that much. They have gotten along, but it don't last long. It's an off and off type of situation that's not really been fruitful. There's finally been a ceasefire after a lot of things that have transpired between both of them. One major thing that happened is that they wanted to get Quad off the show. Two particular ones that were pushing for that were Simone and Toya. Some are going to disagree with that. That's not my fight. I know what I see. So both Toya and Simone decided to rebuild, or try to build, a relationship with Quad. Don't y'all think that's kind of, how could I say this, a coincidence? Both at the same time? They both waved the white flag? Interesting. It's after their plan didn't go through. And what happened is that Dr. G got remarried. And these folks, not just Dr. Simone, but since we're talking about Dr. Simone, thought it was a good thing. Let's bring them back on the show to be around Quad, their old friend. I thought that was the most disrespectful thing I've ever seen in my life. You brought her around to taunt Quad. Quad ain't got no man. He done moved on, found someone younger. And you did that out of spite. Simone said on the last reunion that she was boasting about it. Yeah, you didn't give a F about us, so we moved on. And I wanted to show that I didn't give a F about you. All of this revenge, vindictive, nasty stuff. And I just haven't really cared about Simone. Now, a lot of people may think that I don't like Simone due to Dr. Heavenly, because I do go up for Dr. Heavenly. This is something else that we're going to talk about in just a second. But no, you get away with murder on this show. People call you down to earth. You won't crush a grape. No, I see this snake-like crap that's going on, and you think that you are justified in what you do because you aren't able to really manage your emotions, if we're going to call a thing a thing. You're hurt, and all of a sudden, you get vengeful, and you hold grudges. People kept asking, what is your problem with Quad? You never could find a reason. You never could name a reason. What I have learned, that Simone is a Pisces, and Pisces are territorial. And since I believe Simone feels betrayed, that Quad moved on. Quad was able to find some support, because you didn't support her, support with another group of women who are able to celebrate her in her independence, something that Simone has not been able to do. Simone is still miserable in a marriage. Just this past season, she was ready to divorce her husband again because he don't see her, don't value her. He, after almost 30 years of marriage, don't even know her love language. Even with her telling him to his face what the love language is, he doesn't practice it. She's still with him. A theory is that Simone is jealous of Quad's life because she's able to do what she has not found the courage for herself to do. Divorce this man. Again, and I've said it many times on this channel, I'm not an advocate for divorce. You're not happy though, so why stay somewhere where you're not happy? It's just as simple as that, you know. What was I gonna say? For you all to claim that you're rebuilding a friendship, and you do that, Simone, all in the picture, nah. You want loyalty and all this stuff? No. They're not her friends. It's been over since she divorced Dr. G. It's been over since she divorced Dr. G. And to have the audacity to do something that I can't do, and to do something within our friend circle. Because they were the ones that wouldn't support her and denied that Dr. G was abusing her. They said, no. Even at the reunion, Andy had to say, no, he admitted to doing it. He did admit to abusing her. And you think that this lady's just going to be around a bunch of folks that have more allegiance to doctors than you do to friends? So their friendship will never be the same. I don't care what they're trying to do for the show or whatnot, but you got two hating heifers that are posing up with an ex that you know that neither one of them two heifers will go down for. So, Simone, you still on the docket, so sit tight. Yeah, so that's some hater-ish. Quad, they're not your friends. Moving on to the next story on Carlos King's panel for Monday night. They talked about this rift between Dr. Jackie and Dr. Simone. Dr. Simone's beef with Dr. Jackie is that she didn't stand up for her when it was time. Because Dr. Heavenly said that Dr. Simone pushed her, she was aggressive, and all that stuff. There's also some backstage rumbling that Dr. Heavenly did all this to try to get Simone off the show. That's only come from one source, and I don't know. What I do know is that there was some type of talk around the time of the girls' trip. If y'all hear it in the air, somehow Simone was saying that. Quad called Heavenly, said, hey, this is what they're saying about you. And that's why Heavenly went on the trip, because she didn't want to go on the trip. She wasn't going on the trip because some people feel like Dr. Heavenly pulled a Karen. All this stuff happened last season, if you're following my journey. It was a situation where Dr. Heavenly was trying to put her arm around Simone. Simone was upset with Dr. Heavenly because of what Dr. Heavenly told Quad that actually came out of Simone's mouth. And she was upset, and she didn't want to be touched by Dr. Heavenly. So, Simone said, I forgot what she said, but anyways, but how Dr. Heavenly's putting it off, get your mother fucking hands off me. That's not really how it went down. But anyways, long story short, Simone wants nothing to do with Heavenly, even though I've seen a couple of times since that incident of them being chummy, hugging and all that good stuff. Past even what happened on that girls' trip in Jamaica. So I'm a little bit lost. Even though on the season finale, Simone and her son are in this alliance of, okay, don't talk to her. Because he was like, I'm not talking to her. I'm like, well, what's going on? It's just, there's this, I think that it's weird to me. Okay, so and I'm going to explain it this way. Okay, cool, you're able to film a show. You're able to be around this person. Cool. But there are a lot of limits. But if you're talking about this person and got this weirdness behind her back, it's just like, well, why be fake about it? If you could be cordial, which I don't think that this is cordialness. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's real. I don't know what's fake as to what's going on between you and Heavenly. Just to let you know. But anyways, so that happened. Dr. Jackie was riding the fence. She wanted to be a friend to Dr. Heavenly and also to Dr. Simone. Dr. Simone says that you only are telling me that I need to get right, which is not true. She told Dr. Heavenly, Dr. Jackie told Heavenly, go apologize to Simone. Heavenly actually did what Dr. Jackie said. But somehow Simone's the victim and she didn't say all that. On Watch What Happens Live, she ended up saying that I wasn't there, and I think that both of them are taking this out of basically saying, trying to be even keel and just saying there's some responsibility on both parties. And from that point, there's been another rift because you didn't really stand up for me. Other people are arguing, which I can't just deny. Dr. Simone, including all the rest of the cast, really lobbied for Dr. Jackie. When a couple of years ago, when a lot of her old patients came forth and said that she's very nasty as far as being their doctor and did not really, they didn't get the TLC as the doctor that Dr. Jackie is supposed to be. A lot of people, celebrities and all that, but the more common folk, they were speaking their truth about Dr. Jackie. All of them advocated for her, which I feel like, okay, advocate for her, but you don't want to call her into accountability? No, y'all just did this blindly advocating. And that really helped me to understand this whole allegiance and alliance that y'all got within this doctor circle. That y'all will praise bad behavior. We'll get to that another day. But anyways, at the reunion, Simone's like, I needed you to be there. You didn't stand up for me. I looked at that and I felt like Simone was being territorial and manipulative, hanging and dangling this friendship. If you want to be friends with me, you got to get rid of her. We've been friends for 30 years, and that's something to be respected, yeah. But maybe the friendship is over. This is how I feel. Simone cannot stand that Dr. Jackie was able to find commonality with Dr. Heatherly. Someone both of them look down on, who is a doctor. They can respect Dr. Heatherly at a doctor level, even though she's not a medical doctor. She's a dentist, so you don't really fit the same criteria. There's a hierarchy, and there's some classism within this group and amongst the doctors. You're a dentist, and then also you're a little bit uncouth. You're ghetto. And Dr. Jackie, how dare you become friends with that? How do you become so cool with that person? Because Dr. Heatherly and Dr. Jackie did not get along when Dr. Heatherly came along in season 2. That quickly changed. Dr. Heatherly regrouped, even though she was treated crazy her first season because she didn't meet the standards amongst the doctors. She butted head more with Dr. Heatherly, but Dr. Simone couldn't stand her either. So this was discussed on Monday Night Live. There's a jealousy there that a lot of people refuse to admit. And because of the territorialness of this whole situation, it's always going to have Simone acting out and trying to pull the people that she's most close to her. And when she can't get that, she's going to want revenge. Yeah, so I do agree with that. And the reason I can get along with the Dr. Heatherly more than I can get along with the Dr. Simone is because that she gets to hide and be sneaky and do all these things. Nobody calls her out on it. And they just overlooks it and says, oh, she a doctor and she's supposed to be down to earth. She's so cool. She don't do, no, she do. Y'all can admit that she holds grudges. Along with grudges, there's manipulation, there's our schemes and plots. And when you look at the timeline of the things that she did, she plotted, along with others, to get this ex-husband back on the show with his new wife. And was glad about it, boasted about it last reunion. At this point, she is manipulating Dr. Jackie to choose a side. Get rid of that bum. Now is the time. And if you don't, we're not going to be friends. That's what's going on, y'all. And that's how I see it. And that's why I give Dr. Simone the blues. And because you do everything under very secretive, and it seems to be under the radar, and because of how gutter Dr. Heatherly is, she's seen as the real villain, but you're the real villain in all of this. And because you can be crafty, I can't deal with that. I don't like someone who's not real. You can't be real about what's really going on. But there's a jealousy there. And Dr. Jackie, she is going to have to choose. And I think that she's going to have to just stand up for herself. Either Simone get with the program, or we just can't be friends like that anymore. Friends have evolved. I don't see Dr. Jackie trying to pull rank with her friendship with Toya, which I think is more of an alliance than a friendship, but anywho. Dr. Jackie don't see it for Toya, but not once do you see her huffing and puffing over what she got with Toya. Not once do we see Dr. Simone check Toya for what she's doing against her marriage. Look, that's Dr. Jackie's marriage and whatnot, but not once did you check Toya about the stuff that she was saying about Curtis, if you watched these last 2 seasons. So, not once. Dr. Heatherly will stand up for Dr. Jackie a whole lot more than Simone. So, hey, y'all can keep thinking that this girl is good-hearted and all that. I'm not fooled by that. We know what comes with heaven, and I can respect the Heavenly over a Dr. Simone. Those are my sound bites. Simone is a jealous, territorial woman. And she's not how she seems. She's the main topic. But Quad, Simone, and Toya are not your friends. Jackie, choose ye this day who is going to be your friend. Because Simone's not having it. Who do you really cherish more? Longevity or authenticity at this point? And genuineness. Opposites do attract. And whom you thought the hood rat itch could be really a good friend if you just let go of all of the discrimination and the classism and the elitism and all of that stuff. You can actually find out some people are actually cool if you just drop your isms. Those are my sound bites. Y'all get in the comments. Let me know how you feel about all this. Like, comment, subscribe, and until the next one, peace.